Okay, I think we are going to start planning our first in-ground bed, and this is how it's looking like. All right, so I'm thinking this is just a tricky bed. It is very shady on the outer corner, right in there where it meets the corner. But then on the outskirts, it does get about like 4 to 6 hours of sun, and then it just dwindles as you go into the corner. So it's just a tricky spot. This is definitely going to be a tester because I just don't know how things are going to go. So I'm thinking these 4 Supertunia Vista Bubblegums right here on the front. I don't know how they will do. I just picked up these 2 today from the nursery, and those I picked up a few weeks back. That's why they're like, you know, bloomed a lot more. We'll see how they do. I'm not going to be super butthurt if they don't do as great. And then the second row back, I am doing the Serendipity Allium. This says full sun, part sun, so we will find out. I love the color. I love pinks and purples and just pastel-y colors in here. So that's the second row. And then I picked up, because this is more shady as you get in here. I mean, there has been moss like growing is how shady it is. So I'm taking a hint from the dirt itself. But I picked up 4 of these. They are the Heuchera berry smoothie. They don't look quite like the picture in my opinion, and I looked them up while I was at the nursery too, and they didn't look like online pictures either. Like in person, I don't know if they're gonna fade or what, but they are like a greenish purplish, and they're supposed to have, I think, like purple blooms. So anyways, picked those up. Those were $11.99. And I think you could see the price of the other ones. The Alliums were $16.99 and the bubblegum was $6.99. So about $100, $120 for all these plants, which is crazy. I think I have some hostas in my front garden bed that are growing back there, like starting like babies, and I might pull some and put some in the back here so that it doesn't look as naked. I have also been thinking about doing a rose here because it's such a blank wall here and here. I want a fountain for here, but I'm thinking of doing a rose here that in this spot it should get the adequate amount of sun. I don't necessarily want a climbing one, but I do want one that gets a good bit high so that it brings some interest to this blank wall. So that's what I've been thinking about. Anyways, I'm gonna get these planted up. I'm gonna put a layer of compost on top. The soil here actually looks good in my opinion. While I've been working and digging stuff up in here, I have been finding a bunch of earthworms. I pulled up a good amount of the weeds and everything else that was in here. I did forget to mention this is my peony. I have no idea what she is. I did mess her up this year because I was trying to get rid of my invasive vine that was in here, and it was just covering like this whole place. I'll put a video of what it looked like before. But I did do some damage to this unknowingly, and I'm very, very sad about it. I hoping that I don't think she will bloom this year because I messed her up pretty good. But she usually blooms really pretty white flowers. Okay, so straight off the bat, we might not be able to plant as deep. We do have a bunch of roots coming from our oak tree that way, so we may not be planting as deep. All right, so this is what we ended up finishing with. Some of the plants had to slightly move because there was a lot of roots to go around. So planted them a little bit more shallow where we could and moved them slightly depending on the roots and rock. I did add some compost to the top, and then I still need to mulch it, but I am pooped. So that will be for tomorrow. Anyways, I'm clearly not an expert. I am very open about being a bare root beginner. Like, I don't know much. I'm trying my best with what I have. So thank you for sticking around and watching, and with like the kind of soil that I have and the little layout that I have and the lighting. So it's definitely going to be a learning experience the first few years. But yeah, that is what we planted up today, and I will see you in the next video.